Well, good afternoon, everybody. This is Robert with Guitar Journeys. Do you see that cup? It says, life is full of decisions. Oh, difficult decisions. Sorry about that. Meaning, which guitar should I buy? Okay. Hey guys, so number one, I really appreciate y'all watching me. Um, if you guys are watching me from another country, well, no matter where you're watching me from, you can communicate with me. You can send me a message on my comment section. And I like it when people send me nice comments. I don't like it when people send me bad comments. Those you can keep to yourself. Uh, I like to hear when people are from other countries. It's really interesting that people in other countries are watching me. When I do my videos, let's see, I don't have my phone with me right now, but when I post a video, after a few days, I go and I take a look and see like what the age uh, group that was watching me and where they're from. And it's very interesting to me that a lot of people are watching me in Brazil, United Kingdom, Canada, Mexico. I've had quite a few in India, Indonesia, um, Germany, um, Denmark. Yeah, it's really interesting that people are watching me that far away. I mean, even Asia, South Korea, Japan. So I guess they get it pretty bored over there. But yeah, um, I do appreciate it. I appreciate y'all watching me. And you can send me a message anytime you want, as long as it's something nice and decent. Send me a message. I'll be sure to answer you. When I get up to 3,000 hours, I'm going to start where I sell stuff. Like, I'll probably start out with like guitar picks. Hey, what's up, man? How you doing? That's funny, man, because I got a stepson that I haven't seen in a while, and I haven't heard from him in a while. And he calls me Gramps. I told him one time, and no offense to you, man. I don't care. You guys call me Gramps. You can call me Gramps if you want to. Um, but I told him one time. I said, "Oh no," he was calling me Pops. That's what he was calling me, Pops. And I said, "Hey, Martin, don't call me Pops, man. Just call me Dad. Call me Robert. Don't call me Pops." And then I do remember that there for a while he said Gramps, and I said, okay, buddy. So, anyways, what's going on, guys? What's that? Ringling? Oh, you seeing the stuff in the back, huh? I got you, man. I got you. I got you. Well, this is what I say. This is kind of crazy, but I always say, you could call me whatever you want to call me, but don't call me late for dinner. Man, that really gets me pissed off. Hello, what's going on, everybody? Kind of weird, man. I had my iPad turned the other direction, so I get a widescreen. So mainly so it fill up the screen more. Like when when I watch my videos on YouTube, on my TV, it doesn't fill up the screen of the TV. So I wanted to do it with my iPad like sideways, so that it'd fill up the screen, right? Well, something weird about it, man. When I do that, I don't get no people. So, I say to you guys, hello. Thank you for joining me. I really appreciate you coming and checking me out. And all this stuff up here that you guys see is stuff that I, you know, any old time. Well, what I was playing right there is very old time blues. That is Muddy Waters. No, not Muddy Waters. Howlin' Wolf. He was a big black dude. And this is one of his biggest hits. And I'm trying to think of the name of it. Lightning something. The thing about this song is the hard part is you're supposed to go like this. You're supposed to keep the bass going, see? The whole time you're playing, you're gonna keep that bass. But yeah, I haven't practiced it a whole lot. Oh, my favorite bluegrass. Well, I don't know, man. You know, it used to be like Scruggs. Okay, so these are guys that were like back in the 70s and the 80s. But I think I know what you're getting at, man. Like Billy Strings. He is good, man. There's no doubt about it. I'm not really into bluegrass a whole lot, but Billy Strings does play bluegrass, and he really is good. I mean, there's no doubt about that. I went to a guy's house one night. This was about 8 or 9 o'clock at night, and it was in the winter, so it was dark. The guy called me up. He had a plugged up drain, a plugged up sewer drain. And I had a business where I went out to people's houses and cleaned out their drains. So it was about maybe, I'm thinking around 8 o'clock when I got to his house. And he lived in a little town, probably about 10 miles from where I lived, if I can remember right. Well, when I went into his house, I noticed that he had a lot of music equipment. He had a big stand-up bass. He had some cases. He had a guitar. So while I was working on the drain, I asked him what's going on with the all the instruments in there. And he said, well, my daughter and I travel around and play bluegrass. So I said, that's cool, man. Do you have a banjo? And he said, yeah, I got a banjo. I said, you play it? Yeah, okay. I said, could you play your banjo for me a little bit? He said, yeah, sure, man. So he got out his banjo and he was playing all kinds of like Beverly Hillbillies, Foggy Mountain Breakdown. He was playing all kinds of stuff on the banjo. Very interesting, very cool. I love the way banjos sound. I'm not going to play the banjo because I don't want to take the time to have to take it away from the guitars. In order to learn how to play the banjo, I'd have to spend a lot of time playing it, and then that would take away a lot of the time that I spend on my guitar. So I don't really want to do that. But yeah, anyways, man, what is your favorite? Do you have a favorite bluegrass? Why'd you ask me about bluegrass? Are you a bluegrass player, or do you really like bluegrass music? I'll tell you guys a story about Marty real quick, and I'm going to look this up on my phone. Marty Stuart is a country singer, songwriter, singer. He's been around since he was a kid. Okay, I know he's got to be in his late 60s at least by now. Um, when he was about 15 years old, he was playing somewhere, and some people seen him, and the word got around to like the most famous bluegrass band there was at the time. They contacted Marty. They went and watched him play, and they offered him to go on the road with them. And his mom didn't want him to go because she said, "You need to go to school. I don't want you taking off with these guys." And Marty said, "Look, I don't really need school because this is what I'm going to do the rest of my life. And I'm going to go with these guys because it's an opportunity that I can't really turn down." And they were on every TV show that, showed people like that. Yeah, he traveled all around the world with those guys for a lot of years. So that's interesting, right? Um, he had a TV show called The Marty Stewart Show. If you guys are interested in checking that out, I'd say the best way to look for that would be go to YouTube and look for Marty Stewart Show. It's not on the air anymore. It's been a lot of years since they were on TV. But yeah, Marty Stewart's quite a character, man. He's very good at playing the mandolin and the guitar. And he had a very good band. Cousin Kenny Vaughn is a guitar player, and he's a very good guitar player. So yeah, man, country music, bluegrass, the blues, all that stuff goes together. It's all intertwined. It's all, I mean, country came from the blues, right? The blues influenced the country, and that's when they had a baby and had rock and roll. Elvis was kind of a bluesy guy. And then Elvis and Johnny Cash used to play together, like at concerts. Johnny Cash would like warm up for Elvis, or Elvis would warm up for Johnny Cash. And yeah, that's kind of, you see that Johnny Cash was country. Elvis was more like a rock and roll and a blues. That's where it all started happening right there, man. I think for me, when I started really getting into playing the guitar and getting into music, I've always loved music, right? Music's always been a huge part of my life. And ever since I was probably about 10 years old, I started listening to music a lot. When you only have 4 channels on your TV, and you're a kid, you only have 4 channels, right? And one of them's PBS, you're going to start listening to some music. But, like I say, man, music's always been really big to me in my life. But when I started playing the guitar, I started like really trying to learn as much as I could about music. So I love to watch documentaries on different artists, and it's really amazing that you think that these guys don't have any problems in their life, right? You think that because they play music and that they tour around in the band, that they're loaded with money and that they don't have any problems. It's very much the opposite, man. A lot of times they don't make enough money to pay the bills. They end up sleeping like in the bus, right? Or at the crappiest hotel. Some of the old school guys used to sleep in their cars, or even they'd sleep in the bar where they were going to perform. But and a lot of musicians have drug problems. They're hooked on heroin, or they're alcoholics. So they got problems. They got big problems. And it's interesting to watch these documentaries about how they struggled with alcohol and how they passed out like in the backstage, well, right before the show or right after the show, they passed out. Um, yeah, it's really interesting, man. Um, a lot of musicians have overdosed on heroin. Mainly, I think it was heroin that they overdosed on, like um, uh, Jimi Hendrix, Janis Joplin. So yeah, that was big back in the '70s. A lot of musicians were doing heroin. My one of my favorite, James Taylor. When he was in college, he was a heroin addict. So yeah, man. And I will tell you, I was thinking about this earlier, and I'm not like, I guess I am a musician because I do play the guitar and I have several of them. So, and I do put on shows at nursing homes. I do make videos on YouTube. So I am a musician. And people think that that I don't work, right? That I just sit around and play with my guitars. Well, let me tell you, just doing YouTube and at the nursing homes, it's a lot of work. I'm constantly trying to find new songs. I'm constantly trying to find that new sound. I'm always making adjustments to all of my like pedals and amplifiers and stereos. I'm always trying to get that special sound, you know. It's kind of a curse in a way being a musician, because when you hear a song, you know, like if when you're not into making music or playing music, when you hear a song, you just relax and enjoy the song, right? Well, it's kind of a curse that when you get like really into music, where you're playing it, right? Uh, and I know I've talked to other guitar players that do the same thing. When I hear a song, I don't hear it normal no more. What I hear is I go through and I listen to every instrument and I try to figure out exactly what instrument is making that sound and exactly how they're making that sound. And I listen to the guitars. I try to figure out how many guitars are on stage, or you know, how many guitars are in that song. And then I listen to the bass. I try to, you know, picture in my mind like where he's at on the bass, you know. Is he like over here? Is he down here? Is he like, you know, it's kind of a curse. And then you're constantly, always constantly listening for a song that you think is like, oh, that's the magic song, man. That's gonna make my videos go viral. So it is. It's it's kind of a curse to be a musician, because you don't look at music like you used to. It's very hard for me just to lay down and say, okay, don't study the music, dude. Just listen to it. Don't try to guess, like, don't try to think like, you know, who's doing what, how many of people are on there. Just listen to the music. Um, Saturday nights is a big night for me. This is kind of crazy, man. And my wife puts up with it. She don't say nothing. She just plays her games on her iPad, and um, she watches some of it, but I can tell she's not really into it. There's a bunch of TV shows on Saturday night, and they're on PBS channel, right? The educational channel. But they have different musicians come on every week. They're different. One show is called Songwriters, and usually they're pretty young people. Sometimes they're older people, and they have been writing songs and performing. And there's usually like three each show. There's three people, and each one of them has an opportunity to play their song, talk about their life a little bit. So that's one show that I watch. And then there's another one called the Taverns. I believe it is. And it's usually a band and they're playing, it's in a cave. So maybe it's caverns? I'm not real sure, but they're playing in a cave. And if you guys you're watching me and you are interested in looking at that stuff, check out the PBS channel. There's another show where they play like in an old chapel. Like I say, not all of these, I don't sit and watch all of them, right? If they are really like boring, or if I just really not into the music they're playing, I just watch a little bit of it. But if it's somebody that I find interesting and I like their music, then I'll sit there and watch the whole show. Oh, and then about 10 o'clock is Austin City Limits. Some of the people that come on to the Austin City Limits are very good, and I like watching them. So all Saturday night is music shows. I like to watch them. I like to see how they play, how they act, how they, you know, it's interesting, man. I'd rather watch that than to sit there and watch. I don't know. There's a lot of crap on TV nowadays that I don't really care for too much. All right, y'all. I got to go do some practicing. I do appreciate y'all coming on and watching me, though, man. I don't really watch Price is Right so much, but I put it on sometimes just to have some noise in the living room when I'm in there. And I was watching The Price is Right the other day with Drew Carey. And I liked what he said at the end of the show. He said, "Thank you very much for watching the show. I love you, and I'll see you tomorrow." So that's what I'm going to say to you guys, all right? Thank you very much for watching my show. I love you. I appreciate you, and I will see you tomorrow. I'm going to go practice some more, okay? Hey, man, I'm Robert. This is Guitar Journeys. Peace out, man. This is my thing I always do. I do that sometimes at the store, and my wife just gives me a dirty look. I'm like, "What's up?" All right, guys, I'm out. Thanks for watching, man. I appreciate it.